Welcome guys to Atlas QA, your software testing channel. So today's subject is what is software testing? You remember Adam, the smart and enthusiastic software engineer. He decided to hire Reda, the experienced software tester. Adam is convinced that he needs a tester. But what about his team? What they do think about this? To find out, Reda calls for a meeting with them to explain what testing really is. So Reda introduced himself and started explaining what is software testing. So software testing means checking a system to see if it really does what it's supposed to do and find the places where it doesn't. It's not just about proving the code works, it's about discovering hidden problems before users ever see them. But wait, we already test our code. We will write unit tests and integration tests. Why do we need you? That's true. Developers test mainly to confirm their code works. Testers test to explore how it fails. Let me give you an example. Your login function passed all unit tests. Great work. But tell me this. What kind of inputs did you cover? We tested normal user's name, just standard alphanumeric ones. Good start, but what about usernames with special characters, like this one? Not really. We assumed users wouldn't do that. Alright, and emojis in usernames? People use them everywhere these days. Definitely not covered. Didn't even think of that. Exactly. Unit tests confirm the function works in ideal cases. My job is to explore how it fails when users do the unexpected. If we don't test those, the bugs show up in production where they are far more costly. Okay, fair enough. We see it now. You're covering the blind spots. Still, isn't that slowing us down? We could release faster without extra testing. On the surface, yes, but fixing bugs later after release costs way more time and money than catching them early. Let me give you an example. Imagine an e-commerce app where a 10% discount is mistakenly applied as 90% discount. If that goes live, the company could lose a lot of money before anyone notices. Testing catches that before it hits production and before customers get angry. Whoa, that could be a disaster. Okay, I see it now. Testing doesn't slow us down, it protects us from bigger losses later. Exactly. A little time spent testing now saves a lot of time, money, and stress later. So you just click around and try to break stuff? Not quite. I design tests carefully based on risks, user behavior, and edge cases you might not think of. Sometimes manual, sometimes automated. It's systematic, not random. I will give you another example. When you test the checkout, you try a normal purchase, for example. I will test what happens if the cart is empty, if the credit card expires mid-payment, or if the user loses internet connection halfway. Those weird cases often reveals the most critical bugs. That actually makes a lot of sense. Users do run into those situations all the time. Okay, I get it now. You're making sure the whole thing works for real people. Exactly. That's why testing isn't about breaking things, it's about protecting users and the businesses. But shouldn't developers be responsible for quality? Doesn't having a tester make us lazy? You're still responsible for clean code I am here as a second pair of eyes to catch things you might not think of. For example, you assume customer can only buy items in positive numbers here. But when I test it, I try entering negative numbers also. Sometimes the system calculates that as the store owning the customer money. So instead of paying, the customer will get paid. Okay, now I get it. We definitely need you here. Yeah, you're not just testing the code, you're protecting us, the business, and the users. Exactly. That's the real value of testing. So, what is software testing? Software testing is checking if software works as intended and finding where it doesn't. It is looking for bugs, errors, and edge cases before real users face them. It is testing the whole system, not just one function or module. It is thinking like a user, not just a developer. It is exploring how software fails, not only proving it works. It is saving time and money by catching issues early before releases. It is providing a second perspective to challenge developer assumption. It is building confidence that the product works in real world conditions. Remember, testing doesn't slow you down, it keeps you from crashing later. Thank you for watching with Atlas QA. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I will be happy to answer. Ciao!